Hello.
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Hey, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I forgot about the lab. Sorry.
It's okay, sir.
Okay. You people have seen the lab sheet? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, did you people have seen the lab sheet? Arun, did you share the lab sheet with them?
Yes, sir. In the morning, I have shared in the Google Classroom, sir.
Okay. So what about first lab sheet? Is that solved by you all? So are the things clear to solve the first lab sheet?
Yes, sir.
Just want to know the update before we discuss further. Update from students. I would like to hear. Madan, any update on the first lab sheet?
Sir,
Hello.
good
Yeah.
afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
So
Good
5
afternoon.
from MTech has submitted the first lab sheet, sir.
Okay. 5 of the MTech students have submitted the first lab sheet. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Fine. So what about others? So do people feel that you will be able to do it in a day or two?
I think 2 people has told me that they'll be submitting it today.
Okay.
The others, I have to ask, sir.
Okay. Fine. So yeah, suggest some of the others to speak out. Meanwhile, I'm sharing the second lab sheet. Okay, just a minute. Yeah, Pradeep or Girish. So you people are not given option to unmute or what? Poor internet work. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. It's okay. Then I will share the current tab sheet. So let us start discussing on it. Yeah. Okay. So this lab sheet is based on convolution. Most of the lab experiments are based on convolution. Okay. So say what does convolution does? When did we introduce convolution in signals and systems or in signal processing? Yeah, I think somebody who has good internet connection quickly answer me.
In LTI system properties.
Right. In LTI systems, properties, are we using convolution or any like analysis of LTI systems? So can you be more specific?
Sir, and representation.
Yeah, can you repeat again? Yeah, Niharika, I think you are telling.
So representing output as with respect to input and impulse response.
Right. So if a impulse response of a LTI system is given, output you find by convolution. Okay. So in convolution, what do we do? So other student who is trying to tell, can you please tell what do we do in convolution? What is the process of doing convolution? Yeah, Hari, Bhargav, any of you can tell.
Shifting the signal multiplication.
Yeah, you put the say signal. Say assume that this is only one row of it. Assume that it is a signal. Okay, so this one row is the signal. Assume that this is the row is the signal. Okay, you're able to see now, right? So in this row, so this is the signal. Okay, and in this signal, on this signal, assume that this is another signal. Okay, you can assume this as impulse response and this as input. When we do convolution, what do? We flip this first, okay, and slide on this and keep at this location. Okay, I may center it, this 1, 1, 1 here. Okay, first. And then element by element multiply with this 1, 1, 1 and this 0, 2, 3. Okay, and sum them and put at the value here. So that will be the value here. Okay, so that's what is convolution, correct or not? In this similar way, what I do, I repeat at each of the pixels here. Correct? Each of the signal values are indexes here. Okay, so this is one dimensional convolution. In two dimensional convolutions, what do? Instead of taking this one row, okay, you may take a 3 cross 3 region here. Okay, and then if I want to do convolution with this, I will flip this kernel again. This will come here and this will come here. In the sense that, okay, this is all minus. Okay, minus x minus y. Okay, so and then I will put this here, do element by element multiplication with all this, sum them, okay, and then put at the center. See here, same thing is happening. So all ones are multiplied, added, and then divided by 9 because you have 9 here, 1 by 9 here, and then you put the value at that comes out as 4 here. Is this clear or not? This is the process of two-dimensional convolution. So, what do we do in convolution? As we do in at all indexes, here also we repeat at all the locations of I and j. Okay, so or in 2 dimensions, since it's an image, either x and y or I and j. Okay, at all the locations of the image we repeat it, and then the result is what we get as the output. Okay, assume that you have a system, okay, where the input is in 2 dimensions, the impulse response is also of 2 dimensions, and you want the output, what you get is this. This is one way of understanding or interpreting this and this process. Okay, through this process, what may happen? See, if I do convolution with this signal 1, 1, 1 and 1 by 3. Okay, assume that the signal is the impulse response of a system is 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. And if I do convolution with that impulse response, okay, for any signal, what is the operation that system is doing? If I am just doing convolution of this with 1, 1, 1 here, okay, by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3 here, then what is the operation this system is doing? Can one of you tell? What operation does this system is doing? You're all you studied the signals and systems, okay, signal processing and so on, advanced signal processing. So if I do convolution with a system having impulse response 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, what is that operation the system is doing? That is the question for the input signal. Yeah, no answer, Bhargav?
It's a sort of averaging filter.
Yeah, it's working as an averaging filter. Whatever is the input signal you are giving, it is just keeping average and putting at that value. So it is just averaging with respect to the center value, and this side, okay, 3 values it is taking, averaging and putting at the center. That's what it is doing. Okay, that is the operation of the system. Now, what is the operation of this filter, 2-dimensional filter? Okay, that it is doing. The convolution with this 2-dimensional filter, this we call as filter in 2 dimensions or kernel in 2 dimensions. Okay, the operation of this 2-dimensional kernel, okay, is what? So if I consider this as the system, what is the system doing or this filter doing for this input image? Now, can one of you quickly tell?
Averaging in 2 dimensions or smoothing of the image.
Right, that's all. Okay, averaging in 2 dimensions or smoothing the image and putting at the at corresponding values. What is the average value? Okay, of the neighborhood pixels and its current pixel. Okay, that's what it is doing. Is this clear or not? Okay, so instead of convolution, I can also consider this as a correlation operation. Okay, so if I consider this as correlation between this signal and this signal, that means without flipping, I will do that same operation. Okay, so what is the, say if I take any two signals and do correlation, assume that I have taken here also three signal of dimension, say 1 cross 3 or 3 cross 1. Here also dimension 3 cross 1. Okay, I have taken the same dimension R1 cross 3, same dimension vectors, and I did the correlation between these two vectors. Okay, what does this correlation operation represents? Can one of you tell? Based on this discussion we had. Quick answers are welcome. What does the
Praveen,
correlation
can
operation?
you
Yeah.
try? Praveen,
Tell.
are you there?
See, if you don't want to answer me quickly, I will move on. I can finish the class in 15 minutes.
Ma'am, Praveen is there.
Yeah. So what, say if we do correlation between these two signals, okay, if the correlation is high, what does it mean? If the correlation is low, what does it mean? We discussed in the last class, right? You people are there in the machine learning class or not?
So we're trying to find the similarity here, sir.
Right.
Correlation is high means similarity is high.
Right. So if the correlation is high, what does it mean?
Similarity
Correlation-
score will be high.
Right. Similarity between the two signals is high. Okay. Normalized cross correlation, especially when we find, okay, normalized cross correlation. Okay. We are trying to find out normalized correlation between two different signals. Okay. When we find it, the normalized cross correlation being 1 indicates that they're quite similar. They're exactly same. Okay. If normalized cross correlation is not 1 or it is 0 for the positive all values of the signals being positive, then they are not similar. Okay, both are zeros, or they are not at all similar. They are orthogonal, in fact. Okay, x transpose y equal to 0 means they are orthogonal. See, the either the teacher or faculty doesn't tell the whole things in the class. They will only give hints and leave it to you. Okay, so when I discussed about the correlation or dot product in last class, you would have thought, okay, what do we mean by, okay, if dot product being 0 or the normalized cross correlation being 0 or the correlation being 0, okay, what does it mean by 1? What is the condition for correlation being 1? All that you have to think yourself. Okay, fine. So if I consider this operation as correlation, what is it saying? Wherever the kernel, okay, and the signal are looking similar, okay, if I especially do normalized cross correlation, wherever the kernel and the signal here are same, I am getting higher values. Wherever they are different, I will be getting lesser values. So essentially, the correlation operation, if I consider this as correlation operation, what is it doing? It is identifying the regions where there is the similarity with respect to the filter or mask. Okay, so you will see that later. If I consider this kernel instead of this averaging kernel, assume that I slightly modify this kernel. Okay, how do I modify? Okay, assume that I want to modify. I will modify now. Okay. Okay, I will put here a negative sign. Okay, I will also put here a negative sign. Okay, and then probably here also a negative sign, and then here also a negative sign, and then here also a negative sign. Okay, and then I am putting all these things, keeping these things to 2. Okay, so I am rewriting here, but I am writing this as 2. So what do you think this filter does? If I do the, say, convolution with respect to this filter or correlation with respect to this filter, okay, what do you think the output, okay, reflects? How does it reflect in the output? That is the question now. So I made all this as 2's. Okay, so you can, as you can see here, I made all these as 2's. Okay, and these are all -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, and this 1 by 9 is not necessary now. Okay, this is not there now, it's just 1. Okay, in that case, if I do correlation with respect to this mask or convolution with respect to this mask, what do you think is happening in the output? Can one of you tell? No? where do you think high values in the output will be? Where do you think low values in the output will be? No comments? Okay. So those who have studied image processing should have readily told this. So medical imaging, for example,
Like it detects edges in X direction, sir.
it detects edges in which direction? Where is X direction for you? Is this X
Horizontal.
direction?
Yes, sir. Horizontal.
Okay. Do you think it detects edges in horizontal direction? An edge like this it will detect, or edges in this direction it will detect? In which direction do you think it detects? X or
X,
Y? Huh?
X, sir. X, sir.
Okay. Any other answers? Assume that there is an edge like this. Okay, assume that I have an image. Okay, and I will put on this kernel, right? So assume that. Any other answers? Meanwhile, others have a chance to tell. There is an image here, and you can consider this, okay, as an edge. That means that this all actually is filled up. Okay, this is all filled up. So I don't know whether this fills up. Okay. So yeah, I think it's not filled. Okay. So assume that this is all filled up. Okay, with some 255 values. Okay, and other thing maybe 0 value. Okay, and hence there is an edge here. This is a horizontal edge. Okay, do you think if I apply this kernel here, okay, I will put this kernel somewhere here. Okay, so I may use different ink. Okay, but I think this kernel will be here. Okay, in that case, do you think this kernel will detect horizontal edges?
No, sir. No.
Then which edges will it detect? Which edges do you think it will detect then?
Vertical, sir.
Yeah, it will detect vertical edges. Okay, because it will see, it is seeing the kernel itself. If you see the kernel itself, a row of a kernel, if I plot, how do you think it looks like? Okay, it's the -1. Okay, and +2. I will just draw probably on the top of it. Okay, -1. Okay, +2. Okay, and then after that, what will happen? What will happen? Again, -1. Okay, so here this is 0 axis. Fine. So this is 0 axis. Okay, so you can see that this kernel itself looks like a edge, and that too it looks like a vertical edge. Okay, because it's, if you see in 2 dimensions, it looks like a vertical edge. Okay, so it detects vertical edges naturally. Fine. Is this clear or not? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is the convolution operation or the correlation operation enables us to find out, okay, the similar features of this kernel in the image. Okay, or to highlight similar looking regions of the image as to the filter in the image, as that of the filter in the image. Okay, so if I change this now to say, so I will erase all this. Okay, so if I change, I can change this kernel to make, if I want to detect now the horizontal edges, how do you think I should change this kernel? Can one of you tell? I just want to detect now horizontal edges. Okay, what should I do this to this kernel? I just want to modify this kernel now. Any other student? Any students? Hari? Praveen, you want to tell? What should I do if I want to change this kernel? Okay, to detect such any horizontal edges. Okay, in an image, if there are any horizontal edges, I just want to detect it. Okay, what should I do? How should I modify this kernel? That is the question. I should keep -1. Okay.
Second row and remaining -1s.
Yeah. So I can keep here minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. I can modify in any manner. I can keep this 0. Okay, these 3 0. Anyway, tops are 1, 1, 1 are already there. Okay, I can keep them as 0. Okay, then it will detect vertical edges, horizontal edges. Fine or not? Okay, this also will detect. I can make this 2, 2, 2. Okay, and minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 here. Even then it will detect the horizontal edges. So if the kernel, now if you see kernel, okay, it doesn't have a step in vertical direction. It has no step in horizontal direction. Okay, so you can see this. I will erase this. Okay, and plot the kernel now. Okay, if you plot the kernel, how does it look like? Okay, so it looks like, so here it is. Okay, 1. First, initially it is 1. Fine. After that, what will happen? It will move to 0. Fine. And then it is 0 till here. And then what will happen? Still it is minus 1 here. Okay. Minus 1 here. Okay. And this is the kernel. Okay. You can see that there is a, you're able to understand, right? You're able to picturize, I hope. Okay. So this is the axis. Okay, this is the axis. On this axis, if you see, the edge is now in horizontal direction. If you see move across horizontal, there is an edge. Okay, so that's why you are able to get the horizontal edges. So till here it is 1. So in fact, I don't know whether this one goes or not. Okay, you can even, sorry, you can just erase this. Okay, there is 1 here, 0 here, and then minus 1 here. Okay, so it's like this. So you have a edge at the step in horizontal direction. Thus, you are able to detect any changes in the image. Okay, image also, if there are any changes that suddenly move, like have a horizontal edge. Okay, so you can detect it. So you can see here, for example, okay, so if there is a sudden, say 7 to 1, you will be able to detect by using this. Okay, so previously say 5 to 1, you can detect in the vertical edges. Is this clear or not? What I'm trying to say is by changing this mask or the kernel or the filter, okay, and doing the operation of convolution or correlation, you will be able to extract different features in the output image. Okay, or you will be able to highlight different features of the input image in the output. Okay, or you will be able to knock off the effect of noise or some other like effects of blur and so on through this process of convolution or correlations. Okay, in image processing. Is this discussion clear so far what I have made?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, any questions?
Sir, I'm a student. I haven't attended that signal processing class you are mentioning, sir. So this is difficult for me right now, sir.
Okay. So you have any, if you have any specific question, you can ask. There is no issue.
So what we are trying to hear is like this is image, and what I've got right now, sir, is, and this is our filter, right, sir?
Right.
So what we are doing, sir, like can you like what should I'm not getting that, sir.
Okay. See what we are trying to do in the, say you don't think of in terms of signal processing. So just what I want to do is I want to do averaging. Okay. Such
Yes.
that if there is say in images, what may happen is there may be noise. Okay. So I just
Yes.
want to knock off the noise. What is the easier way to knock off the noise is to average, say noise is a point disturbance. Okay, there may be at some point that the noise get affected on
Yes.
a single pixel, but the neighborhood may not get affected by it. So what I do, usually in image processing, what will happen is the objects have a smooth surfaces. Okay, and hence the intensity variations are also smooth. So you can take the help of neighborhood pixels to fill up the gap or to remove the noise in a given pixel.
So what is the smooth, sir? Like
Smooth means, yeah. Okay, just let me share another thing now. Okay, I will share the slides which I have used for the lab. Okay. Okay, you see here, okay, don't bother about the other things, this text and so on, but you see there is a grainy appearance that is seen here. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that grainy appearance is called noise. Okay, in image processing, how do we remove noise is an important question.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so say for example here also you see grainy appearance, removing the scratches, leaving the discussion about scratches, there is a grainy appearance here.
Yes.
Okay, now the question is, how do I remove this grainy appearance and make this smooth image look like more natural? Okay,
Okay, sir.
free from this noise. So that can be done through a little bit of averaging, in the sense that I use the neighborhood information, okay, and average and put that value at the center.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so by that you can remove the effect of noise. So
Yes, sir.
that is done through a filter here, okay, or a kernel. You use the kernel and correlate at different locations. So you don't bother about convolution. So though other than the electrical students need not consider think about convolution. Wherever the term convolution comes, you just think of correlation for now. Correlation means, as you know, it is just element by element product and sum them, and that value is what is the result of correlation. And that correlation is not just done at one location. Since one kernel is small, that is averaging kernel is small, and this image is big, what we do is at each pixel, we want to do the correlation with respect to that using that kernel. Okay. And we do that at each location correlation and put the values replaced by correlated values.
Okay, sir.
Oh, that's what we are doing.
Yes,
Is
sir.
this clear now?
Yes,
What
sir.
I'm doing? And now this, for getting the noise-free image, I do correlation with respect to a averaging kernel. But now assume that I want to find out, my objective is not to remove noise. I want to find out where the edges in an image are. Okay. So in that case, see, for example, here I want to get the edges in the image. Okay. So for getting the edges in image, what should I do? See, wherever there is a transition of intensities, I call it as an edge. Okay. Here you see black to white. It's an edge. Okay. It's a vertical edge, as you can see here, because there is a vertical transition. Okay. Of intensities. Okay. If I move across horizontal direction, okay, there is a transition, but that is a vertical edge. Okay. The angle is this 90 degrees. If I consider this as 0 degrees, angle is 90 degrees. That's why I call it as vertical edge. Okay. You got the point?
Yes, sir. Right.
But however, if I have to move in this direction, if I move, okay, 1, 1, 1 here, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 here, if I put, okay, there is a big difference that comes between these two pixels, and that highlighted as a edge. Okay. That means, see, when I consider this small region, which would say, for example, I will try to see if I can mark that region where I want to, yeah. See here, I am just at this location. Okay. So this is the region I am speaking about. Okay. So what I will do is, I will do, say I will sum all the intensities, okay, in this region. Okay. I will put this into two halves. Okay, just for this, for ease of understanding, I'm doing this. Okay, it may also have a, say, assume that it's like this. Okay, I do addition of all these intensities in this block and subtract that intensities with respect to the sum of all intensities in this block. Okay, so then what will happen? The value is higher or not? That will enhance. See, if I do the same operation in this region, okay. Assume that I'm doing the same operation in this region. So that means I will add all in one half and subtract with another half. Okay. What do you think the value I get? In this region, if I do this operation of, okay, 1, 1, 1 here, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 here. Means what? 1, 1, 1 means I add this intensity value plus this intensity value plus this intensity value. I am summing all the intensity values here. Minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 here. Means I will sum all this, but subtract with this sum. Okay, that's what, because this is 1, 1, 1, this is minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Okay, if I do that, do you think I will get more like, what value do you think I will get here in this case? If I do the same operation here?
Sir, I think it will be close to 0 here, sir. Like
It is, yeah, in this case, it is close to 0. Whereas in this case, what do you think will happen? Yeah? In this case,
there will be difference, sir.
yeah, there will be high difference. That reflects as the see now after doing that operation, say this operation, what I'm doing is, okay, the kernel, my kernel is like this. Okay, so here the kernel, as I have shown before, okay, this is all 1, 1, 1s on one side, -1, -1, -1s on another side. Okay, that is my kernel. Okay, you got the point, right? So I'm not completing this, but you can consider now, okay, 1, 1, 1 on one side, okay, -1, -1, -1 on another side. Okay, so and then I will do this operation all across the image. Okay, so then what will happen? Wherever the values are high, okay, there are possible that there are edges. And hence after doing all this, what I will do, I will apply a thresholding. If I do a thresholding, more than a threshold value, if I get any pixel, I say that it is an edge. If the value of this difference, this correlation or convolution with respect to this kernel is less than some value, I say that there is no edge. Okay, so that's how I got this all white. White means above threshold, black means below threshold. Okay, that's what I did. Is this process clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I do this with a kernel that gives horizontal edges, that is, say these vertical edges 1, 1, 1, -1, -1, -1, or -1, -1, -1, 1, 1, 1. I can do either. Please note that, see, even if I do any one, the difference is high. Okay, I only see the difference mainly. Okay, so difference high means there is an edge. Okay, so I have to do the same for horizontal, finding horizontal edges as well. Because you see here, okay, there is a horizontal edge in this region. And there is a horizontal edge again in this region. Is this clear or not? 0 degrees edge, okay, in this region. So I have to do the same 1, 1, 1, -1, -1, -1. Okay, 1, 1, 1, -1, -1, -1. I have to do that. So I get gradient. This finding out the correlation with respect to this mask 1, 1, 1 and -1, -1, -1 is called gradient. Okay, I will move on to the other sharing other sheet now. There the discussion is clear, I hope, on the edges. Okay, so now if you convolve with any of these operators, these are referred to as operators in image processing, because these operators, if you convolve or correlate, you will get the edges. Okay, so this is the operation I am doing for getting the edges. Okay, and hence these are referred to as operators. You can consider them as filters, kernels, okay, and so on. Okay, or even mask. That will give edges. If you just do convolution or correlation with respect to this mask, you will get edges. Okay, so now if I do this operation, what I will get? The gradient in x direction. This mask will give me gradient in x direction. Okay, you see if there is any change, gradient in x direction, this will highlight. Gradient in y direction, this will highlight. Okay, any gradient in y direction, it will highlight. Okay, and I will get gx, that is gradient in x direction. Okay, gy, that is gradient in y direction. Then what do I do? To get the total edge, what I will do? Gx square plus gy square. Okay, there is a square mixing here. Okay, gx square plus gy square. I request Arun to take care. Okay, so this is gx. We take the magnitude only is important. Direction is not important when we consider about the gradient magnitude information. Okay, that means if I just want to know whether edge is there or not, I don't bother about the sign. Okay, but when I want to know the angle of edge, I bother about the sign. Is this edge like this or like this? Okay, or like this or like this. So the direction of edge, like you have seen in another image, okay, some edges are like this. Okay, some edges are like this. So I just want to know the directions of edges as well. Okay, that is obtained by this orientation of edge. Gradient gives us the direction of edges. Okay, so using these two, I get the gradient information. Okay, magnitude and orientation. And if I threshold on the gradient image, what I will get will be a binary image where only edges are shown with 255, remaining all are shown with zeros. Okay, that operation we do on images to get the edges. Is this clear? Is this discussion clear? Yeah, I request you people to respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So you need to find out edges. Now what you have to do? Say first find horizontal gradient image. That gradient range from where to where? What do you think is the dynamic range of the gradient image? That means dynamic range means, see, image may be 0 to 255. Image pixels, each pixel may be 0 to 255. If I find out the gradient gx, what do you think is the range of that gx? No answer? I am finding out, assume that I have to simplify your discussion. Okay, I am finding out the gradient, okay, with a mask like this. Only ones and minus ones are there. Okay, then what do you think is the maximum value of this gradient image? What may be the minimum value, possible minimum value of this gradient image? You can construct your hypothetical cases to answer my questions. Okay, if anybody is answering, I will wait. Otherwise, I think you answer me in the next class. Okay, or in the lab sheet. Okay, just think of what is the range. You can easily tell.
0 and 255.
Okay, do you think only 0 or 255? I have minus 1 here. When I do convolution or correlation, this may be 0. Okay, this may be 0, this may be 0, this may be 255 pixel. Okay, then I apply this correlation. So
Minus
0 into 0.
255 to 255.
Correct. That's all. Minus 255 to 255. Okay, gx. Gy also is minus 255 to 255. Now, to find out the gradient information, what I do? Root of gx square plus gy square. Okay, this will make all positive. And then it again ranges from, okay, roughly 0 to, you can consider 255 into root 2. So you can just check yourself. Okay, so that is the gradient magnitude. And angle of gradient will tell what is the direction of edges. Okay, so first find gx, gradient image in x direction, gy, and then find gradient magnitude, gradient orientation. I suggest you write your own program to do that. Okay, you write your own program first to do the, okay, averaging operation. See, averaging operation when I do with respect to this mask, what is the purpose of averaging operation, I said? What is the purpose of averaging operation? Can one of you tell? What is purpose of averaging operation? Say, I said, okay, so don't, without bothering about this, if I just have a noise and this is the clean image, okay, without noise, okay, averaging operation will remove and give roughly like this. Okay, what is purpose of averaging operation? So even removing noise. Okay, so, but removing noise, what filter do you suggest is better? Okay, even all, I think these are the images where you have actually, especially the noise, discussion on the noise. Okay, so you can see here, it is corrupted by one kind of noise. This salt and pepper noise, they call it. At any pixel, you may add 0 pixel or 255 pixel. Okay, again here you did the filtering with 3x3. Okay, 3x3, averaging filter somewhere, probably. Min filter. This is min and max filters. Okay, so min means what? In this 3x3 region, you just take the minimum value and put it at the center. That is min filter. You take the 3x3 region and put it at the center maximum value. That is max filter. You take the 3x3 region, average them and put at the center. That is averaging filter. It's just like what we have done with 1/9 into 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, all three in 3x3. So if you do that, you will get some output. That is noise-free image. But see, if I have any image affected with noise, is this filter, averaging filter, having 1/3, 1, 1, 1, 1, is this better, or do you suggest any other better averaging filter? The question is, other than this one, like just pure ones and then 1 by the number of pixels, okay, the kernel elements, do you suggest any better averaging filter? So this is again a noisy image. I just want to do denoising. Can you suggest, other than just averaging operation, okay, any other filter that gives better denoising? Or in other words, can you modify this filter 1, 1, 1 of 3x3 ones 1/9 to make a better reflection of, okay, denoising? If you want to modify, any suggestions on how do we modify? Noise occurs in different ways. Usually in images, the source of noise is, okay, when we transmit, okay, there is a noise because of random perturbations to the pixels or the bits we send it, okay. So that may be modeled as L2 white Gaussian noise. Or if we take film camera, okay, then also there is a source of noise that adds on to the log domain. So it is nonlinear noise and it is referred to as film grain noise. Or if I take a satellite image, okay, this is also film grain noise. Or if I take a satellite image, okay, where the satellite image may have the synthetic aperture radar sensors. These sensor elements itself will add a grainy noise, okay, and that noise is multiplicative in nature. So noise can be of different types, and in any of the cases, removing noise is of great importance, okay, without affecting the edges and the details in the image, okay. See, if I do averaging, do you think that details are not disturbed at all? If I do averaging here, don't you think that this edge gets affected or not? No answers I am hearing.
Yes, sir.
Affected.
Yeah. So to improve that, what do you think we should do?
We can use median filter.
Okay, you can use median filter. Fine, good. So median filter means you take again a 3x3. You take you sort all the pixels in that 3x3. Okay, order them and then take the middle value. Okay, after sorting and put it at the center. That is median filter. Okay, I don't want to use this is referred to as a non-linear filter because I'm not doing a linear operation or I'm not doing a correlation or convolution operation. Okay, and hence it's a non-linear filter. Even min filter, max filter, all these are non-linear filters. Okay, but if I do pure convolution operation, I'm just averaging, summing and putting at the center. It's a linear operation. So it's a linear filter. I need a linear filter. Okay, linear filtering operation I want to do, but I want to improve upon the simple averaging filter. Any suggestions?
More weight to the central pixel.
Very good. So we need to add weight to the center pixel. Is there a better way of doing it? Can you tell a like a simpler way of doing it? Is recording happening?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. So can you suggest some idea on how do I do it? Is there any structured way of doing it? Okay, you can do many ways. Okay, so one very well-known way is you, instead of taking averaging filter, you take a Gaussian filter. Okay, Gaussian, as you know, the shape of Gaussian is that it's a bell shape. Okay, so bell shape curve. That means for the center pixel, it may give weight close to 1. Okay, for the next pixel, it will reduce a lot of weight compared to 1. And then other pixels, it dies down, almost doesn't give much of the weight. Okay, so it is 1 by 2 pi sigma square into e power minus this kind of thing. Okay, so what I would do is suggest is to plot this. It looks like a bell curve. Okay, and this gives naturally, okay, this looks like this. I think my drawing here may or may not be good. Okay, but so it's not a Gaussian, good Gaussian. Okay, but I hope you people have seen Gaussian curve before, I think, right? Yes or no? Oh, no? You people have not seen Gaussian at all before?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So Gaussian, it's not pure Gaussian, but it looks like this. Okay, it has weight at the center high and then it tapers down. Okay, so probably in the class, I will discuss more on this Gaussian density and so on when we especially discuss about mathematics. Okay, but the Gaussian essential is will give more weight to the center pixel and lesser weight to the other pixels. Thus, when doing averaging, okay, it doesn't corrupt when the edge is at the center. Okay, the edge will be given higher weight, and hence it doesn't affect the edges. Smooth the edges more. Smooth means smear, smear, or smooth means it's like variations. Reducing the variations is referred to as smoothness or smoothing. Okay. So that is your exercise. The next exercise. First doing averaging filter and then Gaussian filter, generating Gaussian filter and convolving with it or correlating with it. Okay, and then subsequently, okay, and then you develop the gradient find gradients in x and y directions using different operators. So these are all just for definition. You can see what is Roberts operator, okay, what is Sobel operator, and so on. So you can see these are defined for slightly different purposes. Okay, why do you think that actually Sobel filter is having this kind of, say, 2 in between? No, so it's the Sobel filter is like this, where the horizontal gradient is obtained by this. Okay, where you have the 2 in the center. Why do you think there is a 2 value here? Whereas they're all ones. Why not it be 1, 1, 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1? You give more importance to the center pixel. Okay, because anyway you are doing gradient at this location. You are trying to find out gradient at this location, at the center location. Okay, so at this location you are finding out the gradient. Okay, so you obviously want to give more importance to pixels around it. Okay, around these 2 pixels anyway we are not considering because it is a horizontal edge and we don't want to bother about this. Okay, and these 2 pixels I want to give more importance while finding it. Is this clear or not? And compared to this only have, what kind of edges do you think it will give? And what kind of edges does this give? This one gives
Diagonal edges.
diagonal edges. Okay, if there are edges like this, it will give. If there is an edge like this, it will give. Whereas here it gives x and y edges. Okay, so and then this operator is also gives edges. Only thing is this between this and this, Sobel gives more importance to the center pixel. Okay, or the region around the neighborhood of center pixel. This is referred to as 4 connected. Compare this to this pixel, which are the closest pixels. If I ask to these pixels, which are the closest pixels, are neighborhood pixels. Okay, first this, and this. These are referred to as 4 neighborhood. Okay. After that, these diagonal things will come. These are 8 neighborhood. If I see 8 neighborhood of a pixel, all these 8 will come. Whereas, if I see 4 neighborhood, if I just want to tell the closest pixels, possible pixels, I should pick not just this. Okay, this, and this. 4 pixels I have to pick. 4 neighborhood I have to see. Right or not? Is this clear? Is this discussion clear? And the closest neighborhood has to be given more importance while doing any of the processings, that, and thus these are 2s and remaining all are 1s. Okay, and why do you think if you sum all these elements, okay, in this kernel or mask or filter, what is the value you are getting?
0, sir.
Yeah, so you observe, did you observe it in other edge filters as well? Even here, if you sum, what is the value you are getting? Even here, if you sum all the values of the kernel, what you are getting? 0, right? So do you think that for all edge masks or edge kernels or edge filters, is this property common? Or do you think that is there, it just by chance it has happened? If this property, if you say that it is common, okay, you should tell any reason for why do you think it is it's happening. Can one of you tell? Quickly guess.
Since we are performing difference operation, weights will be negated, sir. That's why we get some 0.
Okay, if we are performing inverse operation or say
Difference, sir.
difference
Difference.
operation, why should that be 0? That's the question, right? Why do you think like what is the what should be the reason for being it 0? Difference operation, fine, that's agreed. Any answers? Yeah, I just want to find edges in this image. Okay, this is a uniform region. In this uniform region, what do you suggest? What do you think the edge value should be? In this uniform region, if I apply this edge kernel, what is the value you are expected to get?
0, sir.
0. Fine. So even this is a uniform region. In this region also I want to get again. If I
0.
apply, yeah, 0. When if the kernel elements sum to non-zero value, do you think it will happen?
No, sir.
If they sum to 0, then only if I apply this, all the values are same, means that I will also get a value output as 0. Correct? Okay, because they are all say same x are same values. Okay, so if I then the kernel, if kernel also has the same like kernel elements sum to 0, then the convolution or the correlation result by at that location in the uniform region location is 0. Correct or not? That is the reason why you should have all the edge kernels, okay, with the elements of them being sum to 0. Is this clear or not? Is this clear? No. Okay. If you don't respond, I will move on. That's easier for me. Okay. So see, this is another kernel. With the filtering operations or with the kernel correlation with the kernels, you can also find the corners in an image. Okay, not just the smooth regions, not just the edges and so on. Okay, if I design the kernel such that, okay, same kernel, okay, assume that I will modify this kernel such that, okay, I just want to get the corners or the points that are quite distinct from the neighborhood, whole neighborhood. Okay, that is referred to as corner. You suggest me, how should I modify this kernel? One of you suggest me, how should I modify this kernel? I just want to modify this kernel to get actually, see, assume that this is 40, okay, by some chance, or 14. Okay, this is quite different from neighborhood. Okay, these are all small values, this is a bigger value. And this is assume that 51. Okay, this is again a bigger value and remaining all are smaller values. Okay, some such say this is again, so 681 for example. Okay, I just want to get the highlight the values that are quite different from distinct from the neighborhood. Okay, so and this value let it be so let it be 0. Okay, this value is 0. So now I want to highlight all the locations where the intensity values or the information that is different, quite different, distinct from the whole neighborhood of that pixel. Okay, such regions I would like to highlight. Okay, so what should be the kernel? How should be my kernel? That's the question. Yeah, I need at least 1 or 2 answers, guesses. If not answers.
Give more weight to the center pixel.
Okay, give more weight. So what do you suggest? Should I put this 10?
8, sir.
Okay. So if I put this 10, okay, I can, this is a good answer. Okay, in fact, okay, if I put this 10, it is quite different from others. So whenever there is a change in others, I will get high value. But thing is, if I put this 10, if I put
8, sir. We can make it 8.
okay, I will make it 8. Okay, I will follow your suggestion. Okay, assume that I will make it 8. Okay, now this is 8. Okay, and that's all. Okay, if I make this 8, okay, then I put this here. 8 into 0, 0, and then I will sum them value I will get.
-1 in other column, other cells.
So what I want to do is the center has to be distinct from others. Okay, to make that happen, all I will make -1, that is some value, and this middle one has to be okay peaking on the all other in while all others are in negative direction, the middle one is going on to the positive direction with a quite distinction. Okay, difference. Okay, this is the pixel. This is the kernel. Okay, now if I operate this kernel on this image, I will get the high values in the output wherever there is a sudden change or with the center pixel to the all neighboring 8 neighbors or any of the neighbors. Okay, so these are referred to as corners or corners get highlighted. That happens naturally if you convolve with a filter that is referred to as, okay, Laplacian of Gaussian filter. Okay, that is shown here. See, Laplacian of Gaussian is a second derivative. Okay, so let me erase the things. Okay. So Laplacian of Gaussian is a second derivative of Gaussian. Okay, so if you have a Gaussian, if you do first derivative, what will happen? So if the Gaussian is like this, I will just plot. Okay, so roughly this is first Gaussian. If you do first derivative of this Gaussian, what do you think will happen? Slope here is slightly increasing and then close to zero or linear curve here, and then start decreasing. Here it is zero. Okay, slope is zero and it is changing the direction here. Okay, and then again it is very small here, close to zero, increasing and so on. So if you see the slope, see derivative gives what? Derivative gives slope. So if you see the slope increases, okay, I may or may not be exactly correct. Okay, it goes negative direction and then goes positive, and I think maybe here. Yeah, you can check it. Okay, I may or may not be correct. But I think the if you differentiate this, what you get will be the differentiation of Gaussian, and that essentially gives the slope. Okay, so slope here is zero initially. It keeps increasing, and then it goes to zero here and then keep decreasing. Okay, so I think the slope keep increasing, okay, and then come down and then goes to this direction and then goes. Okay, this is the first derivative. Okay, this is first derivative of Gaussian. Second derivative of Gaussian, if you see, slope of this again. Okay, the slope keep increasing, okay, and then decreasing, and then goes to zero at zero, and then comes here and like this. Okay, this is referred to as Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay, this is what is this. Okay, so you can see that this Laplacian of Gaussian also has a look of a corner. Okay, this is the Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay, so this also has a look of a corner. This filter also has a look of a corner, and hence when you convolve the filter, this with respect to this filter and an image, okay, you will highlight the corners. Okay, is this clear? Whatever I am trying to discuss, is that clear or not? Okay, so you can, anyway, there is an inbuilt command for doing Laplacian of Gaussian convolution, or you can use this expression. This is just the second derivative of Gaussian expression above. Okay, continuous derivatives, dou x square by, okay, dou by dou x square into g of x plus dou by dou y square into g of y, g of x comma y. Okay, both are g of x comma y. So that if you see, this is what you get. Okay, if you do. And that you can see in real, in digitized case, this is same as whatever is the filter we have discussed. 8 in the middle and -1, -1, -1 all around. Okay, so this implementation of this is similar to whatever we have discussed before. Okay, so you can either do by digitizing this expression, okay, to 3x3 kernel, 5x5 kernel, okay, or you can directly apply an inbuilt function in this third example. Okay, so that's what you need to do to find out here corners. The first one is averaging, removing noise. Second one is finding edges with different kernels. Third one is finding corners with Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay, this also can be used for doing edge detection. Laplacian of Gaussian can be used for corners as well as for finding edges. Okay, so if you see that wherever the zero crossings occur, after convolution with the Laplacian of Gaussian, they are edges. Okay, no, so that way you can find out the edges using convolution with Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay, so any questions now on the discussion we had? Hello? Yeah, if you have any questions, we will discuss. Otherwise, we will move on or we will complete. I am done from my friend.
Sir, effect of sigma in second question, sir.
Right. You are asking actually Gaussian based filtering?
Yes, sir. In that sigma, we'll choose according to filter right size. Right?
Correct.
That's
See,
one.
what you can do is, say, for example, if you want to design a 3x3 filter, see, assume that this is, I will just roughly consider that this is 0, okay, and this is 10, okay. So, or say, whatever, 10, okay. So, but actually, I only want 3x3 filter. So what do you think? I will just take this region of 3x3 and say that this is a Gaussian filter. How should I design my Gaussian filter? Given a kernel size, 3x3, 5x5 or 7x7. That is the question. See, if I just design arbitrary Gaussian with, say, this width is like, see, Gaussian, whether it looks like this or should it look like this? Okay, is that determined by whom? Okay, who will decide? Should the shape of Gaussian, will it be like this or will it be like this? Can any
Variance.
of you know? Yeah, do any of you know? Who will decide that?
Sigma value, sir.
Yeah, sigma value in the Gaussian will decide it. So, and hence what we want to do is, we want to select sigma such that for a given kernel size, either 3x3, 5x5 and 7x7, okay, you have a Gaussian within the region that you are looking as a kernel. If say your kernel is 3x3, you don't go for this. You should go for this. Okay. So that means, say, you should consider, okay, this you should consider this for 3x3. Okay. And this is good for, this is for 3x3 and this may be good for, say, 11x11. Okay. So that, how do I decide is, so see roughly what is the active region of this Gaussian filter. This Gaussian shape, okay, if you know a little bit of properties of Gaussian, okay, so if this is the center, mean of the Gaussian, okay, then up from here, it will die down, keep dying down, and it completely dive down in 3 sigma range, okay, in this direction. After 3 sigma, it's almost 0. In this direction also, after 3 sigma, it's almost 0. So 3 sigma in plus 3 sigma, 6 sigma plus 1 at the center. So 6 sigma plus 1 is essentially considered to be equal to, okay, to be equal to what? To design a good Gaussian filter. 6 sigma plus 1 or 1 plus 6 sigma is supposed to be equal to what?
Window size.
Can be equal to the
Kernel
size
size.
of the kernel. Yeah. So if I consider size of the kernel as S itself, okay, or whatever, okay, S cross S kernel, if I am designing, okay, then S equal to 6 sigma plus 1. Okay, in that way I will put and I will design what is sigma, and then what I can ensure, okay, based on this, for a smaller kernel, sigma is small so that it confines to the smaller region of 3x3 and still looks like a Gaussian shape. For a bigger size, okay, sigma is bigger and then still it looks like a Gaussian within that 7x7. See, ideally I don't want, say, for example, if this is the kernel, okay, it's all becomes 0 here after that. Okay, so if I want to design 11x11 kernel, okay, I just don't want to take this sigma corresponding to this. Okay, if I take this, I think it's nothing I am using. Okay, the only this region is active. Okay, so this is good for 7x7. Okay, maybe our 11x11. Okay, and this is good for 3x3. Is this discussion clear? That is how we decide the kernel of the Gaussian. Similar things follow roughly for the Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay. Yeah, you can set, I think, the kernel size in Gaussian and you can use the same kernel size in Laplacian of Gaussian. Okay, if you are designing yourself. Are the things clear? Yeah, I request comments or okay, or questions from students.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now I'm leaving then. So please go ahead. And if you have any doubts on the implementation aspects, I would request to say Arun or Sumant to give some idea on how exactly they can implement these things. So in Python, for example, like what should they refer to? Okay,
Yes,
how do they make the matrices? So all those things.
Yes, sir.
How do they do convolution? So they can use anyway their matrix multiplications operations. Okay, but at the same time, you can also tell about the commands and so on if, yeah, those are required. Hmm?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will log out now. Okay then. Please go ahead. Bye.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I am assigning Arun or Sumant. Okay, as